Welcome to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast. We are here today broadcasting live with by Tiffanie. We are grateful for her, and we've been going through changes trying to get this schedule, but we finally got it together. I want to thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the News You Can Use podcast. I do ask that you support the podcast in any way that you can in regards to donating to the podcast so that we can get the proper equipment and things that we need to make this podcast better for you. You can Cashapp us at $Beandusllc. We got PayPal, we got Zelle, we have Patreon at Frenchaire, and you can buy me a coffee /Frenchaire. Also, wherever you are listening to the podcast, on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, do rate and review the podcast, because when you rate the podcast, you help other people see the podcast that might not see it. So we do appreciate you rating and giving us a 5-star rating and reviewing the podcast. So without further ado, we will say hello to our business spotlight, Tiffanie Smith from by Tiffanie.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. So I met Tiffanie this past summer at the sunny South Dallas Food Park. She was also a vendor there, and I was like, I'm gonna connect with you, and we're gonna do this podcast thing. So here we are. A little bit about Tiffanie is Tiffanie Smith, owner of By Tiff LLC. We specialize in natural bath and body products. So Tiffanie, tell us some historical background about who you are, where you're from, where you at, and just tell us about yourself.
So, where I'm from originally, I'm from West Texas, actually San Angelo, Texas. I have been in the DFW area it'll be 20 years in March. I have a 17-year-old son that's a senior in high school, so if you know, senior year is crazy, so I've been doing everything senior, prom, college visits, you name it. I've been in business for 3 years now. This past July 3rd marked my 3-year anniversary, and I'm just excited for what I have in store, what's coming up. I've kind of been on a small hiatus. I'm actually just getting back in the country last week due to a birthday trip, but I do have a lot of stuff that's going on in the background that it doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but I'm actually working. So I'm just excited for where my business is, where it's come from, and where it's going.
Yes, ma'am. So tell us about by Tiff.
By Tiff. So again, like I said, I've been in business for 3 years. I originally started due to me having an allergic reaction from some bath products at a well-named bath company. I'm not going to put them on blast. I never do.
Okay. Fair enough.
I will say this: when you walk by their store, you smell it. So if you know, you know. And I went in there. I had never been. I, of course, walked by the store, and I was like, let me try these products, see what the rave is about. And I went in there and got a bath bomb, which I probably shouldn't have never gotten to begin with, because I'm not a sit-down bath type of girl. Anyway, I'm more of a shower girl. But I was like, let me just try these. So I got the bath bomb. Waited maybe like a week or two, and then I actually used it, and I had an allergic reaction. For me, I have eczema. It's not a severe case, but it is a mild case of eczema. So I was like, maybe it's just, it was due to that. But I looked at the back of the package and started to read the ingredients, and I was like, I can't read. I don't even know how to pronounce any of this. So I was like, this is probably not safe for me to be using on my body, to be soaking in. And so I just kind of from there, I was like, I'm going to try to see if I can come up with a recipe to make my own bath bombs. And that's originally how it started. I really just started out with bath bomb, hence my company name, By Tiff. because it did start out with bath bombs, and then it just went from there. I started out with the bath bombs, and I had sugar scrubs. So I had 2 products originally. Now I have, I think, 10.
Nice.
So that's how it came about.
Okay. That's really good. So basically, you saw a problem, and you created the solution to it. And so, what type of ingredients do you use in your natural products?
So most of my products, everything generally consists of coconut oil, just for the moisturizing effect that you need in skin products.
Yes.
Sorry, I just went blank. Baking soda, which of course you need those to make the bath bomb. So when I say natural, it's natural. So coconut oil, baking soda, shea butter for my body butter. I use mica. I use an organic mica powder for the coloring, like to make it the pretty colors that you guys see in my products.
Okay.
And then I use essential oils. So those are pretty much all the ingredients I use. Of course, they vary depending on what I'm making. If it's the sugar scrub, it's raw organic sugar. My milk bath is actually milk powder. So it's like real milk, a dry, it's in a powder formula.
Yes.
And I just add the other ingredients to it to keep it natural. What else do I have? My bath salt is organic salt, so Himalayan salts, sea salts, everything that I use. Everything is natural. I did a lot of research when I first started my company, and I had a lot of, I don't call them test dummies, but I had a study group.
Yes.
that I made my products for and sent them out. And I was like, hey, test it. Let me know how you think, or let me know what you think and how does this feel. I really sent a lot to my mom because she does take a lot of sit-down baths. She has a whole big jetted tub.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, listen, you do this, test it out for me. And I was like, tell me the truth. Don't just tell me, oh yeah, I like it because I'm your daughter. But I sent it to her. Some of the first ones I sent, she was like, no. I can't remember if there were too, I don't know if I put too much coconut oil in it, so it was too oily and too slippery, but I went through maybe like 3 or 4 recipes before I finally got the perfect recipe down for my bath bombs.
Okay.
And since then, I've just stuck with that. And then I just, like I said, researched my other products as far as my my body butter and my milk bath and so on and so forth. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted. I just started out with the bath bombs.
Yes.
So I knew in mind, like I had my whole list of products that I wanted to have for my business.
Very nice. Very nice. So, do you have any upcoming events that you have coming up?
I don't. Everybody's been asking me. Because everybody's like, you're always doing events. But with my trip and my birthday being this month and Thanksgiving, I kind of took a break.
Yeah.
Planned but not planned.
Yes, I understand.
Because I was gone out of the country for 8 days, and then I came back, and I actually was sick when I got back for 4 days. So I actually had planned to do an event last weekend, but I was sick. So I couldn't do that one. And then the other ones that I had said, oh, maybe I'll sign up anyway. It depends on how I feel.
Yes.
I didn't sign up for, so I don't have anything for the remainder of this month. I do have some events possibly coming up in December. I'm waiting for the organizers to get back with me and let me know. I actually had somebody reach out to me yesterday. They sent me an email about a tree lighting. I believe it's in Balk Springs. She asked me to be a vendor. I have to look at my schedule and see. I think it's clear. I think I might have something on that date. I kind of like put the stuff on my calendar, write it in my planner, so that there's something happening on that date. I just don't know. So I have to look and see. And if not, then of course I'll be there. And then January, we are starting off the new year, so I don't have anything lined up as of yet, but I have a lot of stuff that is going to be taking place for my business. So event-wise, no, just what I just mentioned now.
Okay, that sounds good. So tell us about how do you? Well, no. Tell us about this trip. We want to know. You went out of the country. Well, tell us
Yes.
about this trip. Where'd you go? And tell us about the experience.
I went to Costa Rica, Guanacaste, Costa Rica. It was amazing. It was, of course, my first time there. It was me and 5 of my friends and family members. And when I go out of the country, I usually stay at a resort, but I didn't want to do that this time.
Okay.
I wanted a more intimate setting. The last time I went out of the country for my birthday, I went to Jamaica, and we did stay at a resort. And of course, everybody had their own rooms, and it was like, hey, let's just kind of meet up in my room because I had the biggest room, and we just went from there as far as what we were going to do, you know, as far as excursions and so on and so forth. This year, I didn't want that.
Okay.
Like I said, I wanted a more intimate setting because, I mean, we're 7 days out of the country away from our family and whoever else, you know, significant others if they have them, which all of us are single.
Okay.
But, you know, we're away from our family, our kids.
Yes.
And so I was just like, if you want to lay on the couch while we're doing whatever, you know, I still want us all to be together.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a bonding moment, so to speak.
Okay.
I have been on a trip with all of the girls, with the exception of one. I've known everybody my whole life. Like I said,
that's
2 of them
nice.
are my cousins, one on my mom's side and one on my dad's side. One of the girls is one of my best friends. So me and her have gone all of her first out of the country, first cruise, first plane ride has been with me. So she's always like, it's because of you I do all this crazy stuff.
You're the adventurous
Yes,
one, huh?
I am.
Okay.
So it was her, and some of them hadn't met. So, and normally when I do plan a trip, I do try to get everybody together because I'm not a drama-filled person. I don't like mess, and we're going out of the country. I watch Locked Up Abroad, and it's no joke. And I don't want, you know, when you travel with somebody, you really see how they are.
Yes.
But the trip was amazing. The villa that I got, it was a 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath villa, infinity pool. It was all inclusive. So we had a chef and maid, a butler for all 7 days that we were there.
Nice.
I didn't even know, but the first day when they left, they were like, "You have security," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, he's outside," and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, thank you." So he was
Nice.
there every night when they left, and he stayed every morning until they came back. We had a game room. The views were amazing, just overlooking the ocean and just nature. It's so pretty there. Everything is so green. It's luscious. The people there are so nice. It made you look at where we live differently. Even one of my best friends, she was like, even the dogs are nice. Like,
Aw.
there's so many stray dogs, but they weren't aggressive at all. Like, they were just laying there as we were walking by, like walking through the town, and they just looked at us, and I was like, American dogs would never, we would have been running for our lives.
Right.
But it was definitely a fun time. We zip lined. We sat next to an active volcano and a hot spring.
Nice.
We rode horses. We saw how their old way that they used to produce the sugar with the sugar cane with the ox. We seen a pottery lesson, how they make it. What else did we do? ATV, zip line, horse lining, the hot springs and the mud bath. And then one day we had a spa. The people came to the house, and me and one of the girls, we had massages out by the pool while the other
Nice.
girls went in the town and did some shopping. And then after we met up with them, we just went to the beach, and it was really a good reset. I needed it. Last year I didn't get to go on a trip. Well, I went camping, but I didn't get to go out of the country. So
Okay.
it was definitely needed. I'm already planning my 40th. They're like, what are we doing next year? And I'm like, well, I'll be 40 next year, so it's gonna be bigger and better. So y'all be ready. So it was definitely needed. It was a good time. I'm glad that the women that didn't know each other, they have formed the friendships.
Yes.
And my best friend, she told my cousin, she was like, you're the sister that I didn't even know I needed.
Aww.
And I'm glad that, I could bring them together. You know what I mean? Because you
Yes.
never know. People in the age, for our ages, the youngest girl that went, I think she's 33, and then my one friend, she's 45. So it ranges from 33 to 45. So we're kind of within that same age group, but some of us, some of them are younger than me.
Yes.
But it was just a good group of women, and I'm glad we had that opportunity, to connect and just bond and just reset, because all of us are going through different things in our lives, and I think we all needed it.
Yes, ma'am. That sounds lovely.
Yes.
Yes, and much needed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you got to take that awesome trip, and shoot, I can't wait to hear about next year's trip.
Yes.
So I see that's part of your self-care, the vacations and the trips.
Yeah.
What else would you say you do for self-care to stay balanced between your family life, your business life, and your personal life?
So Sundays generally for me are like my self-care days. I don't really post anything on my business page. Well, for one, I have my posts scheduled, so they automatically post.
Nice.
Especially on Sundays, because I'm like, this is my day to myself. I just want to do whatever I do. I usually go get my, my nails and my toes done.
Yes.
Or whatever I want to do, whether it's just sit at home and watch TV all day. Of course, I go to church, so after church, I didn't go to church this morning because I overslept. But I did watch online. Or if it's just like me going out and shopping, going out to eat, going to the movies, meeting up with a friend for brunch, like that's my me time. Yesterday because I knew today was gonna be busy, so I kind of did my little self-care yesterday.
Okay.
Me and my son actually went to brunch because he works, and he's always working on the weekend, and I haven't got to spend a lot of time with him here lately because he's always working. So I was like, hey, let's hang out, let's go do brunch. So me and him went and did brunch, and then we hung out for a little bit after that, and then he actually went to go leave with his dad. And one of my friends, she actually came here from Memphis. She was like, hey, let's hang out. And I was like, this is perfect because tomorrow I'm busy. So we hung out, had lunch, and we went to, what is that place called in Irvin? Toyota Music Factory, that area.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, and it was like a live band, and so we sat out there. Well, we went to eat first, and then we went there to this bar, and it was a live band, and we just sat there and people watched and had some drinks and laughed and talked. So for me, that's how I self-care. I really try to decompress or like de-stress and detach from everybody, and I try not to get on social media as much on Sundays because that's just like my day. Sometimes I do find myself scrolling through it if I just don't have anything to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm on it so much because of my business. I try to leave Sunday like, okay, no social media. That's why I don't post on Sundays for my business. I try not to, like, if people send me messages on Sunday, I don't like to respond, but then I don't want to not respond because I am a business. But then I'm like, some people know, like, we know she doesn't do stuff on Sunday, so they won't even send me a message, or they'll send me a message and be like, I know you won't answer this till tomorrow, so I don't answer it.
They understand.
Yeah, but some people don't know. So for those that don't know, I do try to respond to them, especially if I'm not doing anything. If I am doing something, then of course I can't respond until I can. But that's just my way, just to try to detach because it's just me. I make my own products, take the pictures, I do the content, I ship out orders, package orders, I do everything on top of having a full-time job, having a part-time job.
Oh, wow.
Having a son that's a senior in high school, and then trying to still take care of me so I can be whatever I need to be for everybody and whoever else.
Yes.
So that's my self-care.
I love that. And you have to take the time for yourself to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Especially as a caregiver, it's necessary that you take the time for yourself.
Yeah.
So,
you can't
good
pour
for
from
you.
an empty cup.
No, you cannot. That is the truth.
Yeah.
So lastly, while we're talking about social media and disconnecting and things, what is your social media account so that our audiences can stay connected to you?
On my social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, which I hardly use because I don't know how.
I know, right?
I've asked my son to help me. But TikTok, I think that's it, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X, whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
It's all under By Tiff. So if you type that in, that's going to come up. You'll see my logo, as you'll see on my shirt. You'll see that, and you'll know you're at the right person or at the right page. Anytime you send a message to any of those accounts, it's actually me answering. It's not a robot or somebody else. People are like, oh, I sent a message, but I didn't know if it was you. It's me.
Nice.
It's a one-woman show, so it is me responding. Like I said, I try to respond as promptly as possible, but I am human. I do have other things outside of my business. So if I don't respond, just give me a second, I'll respond as soon as I can. So that's how you can find me on all social media sites. And even if you Google me, like I have a Google page, you can send me a message there and I can respond on Google if you don't have social media.
Okay, and what is your website for us to order Bomb by Tiff?
My website is www.bombbytiff.com. If you want to send me an email, sorry, I didn't know if you was going to ask this.
You're fine, go ahead.
If you want to send me an email, it's info@bombbytiff.com. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. Cool. And so our last segment, Tiff, is our giving out gems to aspiring business owners. So what 2 tips or 2 gems would you drop for any aspiring business owners or entrepreneurs?
The first thing I would say to anybody wanting to start a business or already have started a business and might be discouraged, first I'm gonna start with people who want to start it. Start it anyway, even if it's not perfect. Start it anyway, because when I first started, everything wasn't perfect. I didn't have my website up. I was literally writing down my orders in a notebook that I still have. People were Zelling me, PayPal, however they could get money to me, they were getting it to me that way.
Yes.
That's not how I wanted it to be, but I started in the height of the pandemic, and it just fortunately happened that way.
Mm-hmm.
However, your business and life is constantly evolving, so start anyway. You can perfect it later, and even when you think it's perfect, it's never going to be perfect. So start the business anyway. Another thing that I would say is be consistent. I do know that last year I had a health scare, a breast cancer scare, and I just stopped because I had to take care of me and make sure, everything was okay. I ended up having to have surgery, so on and so forth. So I was just like, I'm going to shut my website down, and it was down for a long time. And people were asking, what's going on. The people that were close around me, they knew, but I didn't tell everybody until maybe a few months later. But before that, I was consistently posting every day. In the process of me shutting my website down, not posting on social media, I did lose followers. And I know going through that, it's like out of sight, out of mind. So you have to be consistent. Social media is a big thing now. People want to see what you're doing, whatever, even if it's just something that you got from somebody else, like a meme or something, I don't know. People want to see that you're consistent, you know what I mean, that you're active on social media. So be consistent. There's so many apps that you can use for scheduling your posts. Like I said, I do it all the time, just for the simple fact that sometimes I just don't remember. I go through, hey, I know I want to schedule at this time, and I set it up and it's scheduled, so when that time comes, it automatically schedules. Automatically posted. So those are my 2 words of wisdom. Start the business because it's never going to be perfect anyway, and always be consistent. And stay true to yourself in doing this, because everybody wants to compare themselves to others, and everybody's journey is different. I know a lot of people be like, you make this look so easy, because I show y'all all the good stuff. Sometimes I just show y'all behind the scenes, like when I'm getting ready for an event, my house will be a wreck. But I want y'all to see, because it's real life, you know what I mean?
Right.
When I say a wreck, it's like, what the heck is going on here? It's stuff everywhere. So just always go for your dreams, and just, like I said, just go for it, and it'll work out in the end.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Thank you. Those were great points.
Thank you.
And lastly, before we go, you said that you have an offer. You can give us a discount off your products.
Yes. So if you subscribe to my website, you get 15% off your first order. Once you subscribe, or when you log into my website, a little pop-up box will come up, and it'll say subscribe. I forgot what the exact wording is. I call my people my bomb squad. So if you subscribe to my bomb squad, you get 15% off. With the code subscribe, and you can use it on your first order or whenever you want to use it. It doesn't expire, and you can use it on anything, even on sale items, which I don't have anything. Well, I'm going to have a sale starting tomorrow. Like this week is going to be I'm not doing a Black Friday. I'm doing like a whole week of Black Friday. So that'll start tomorrow. So yeah, you can subscribe to my website. And people who subscribe to my website, they get first dibs on if I'm dropping new products, if I'm having a sale. Sometimes I just offer a sale for my subscribers. Even like Twitter, like I'll offer a special code to Twitter or TikTok followers. I don't think I've ever done one for Facebook or Instagram followers, because I have a lot of followers on there. I don't have a lot on the other two, so I'm trying to get those up. So I'll offer special deals for those two. So yeah, if you subscribe to my website, you automatically get 15% off your first order.
Nice. So y'all go to By Tiff.
Yes. Follow me, tell your friend and tell their friend.
All of that. Because that's where the support comes, and we need that. Yeah. Same here. We thank you for stopping by and talking with A News You Can Use podcast today. My name is Frenchaire-Gardner. I am the host of A News You Can Use podcast, and we are greatly appreciate you spending your time with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on.
Yes, so y'all go ahead and hit the follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and share the podcast with 5 of your friends. Tell a friend about A News You Can Use podcast. We do promote Black businesses and artists. And if you are a Black business entrepreneur or artist and want to be highlighted on the podcast, send us a note. I'll have the email in our show notes. And again, we do appreciate you for tuning in. Rate, review, subscribe to the podcast. Until next time, peace.
Bye.